Okay, we're live. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of a rebuild of the network. Basically, the idea is also, since we have sometimes clients that request um, things we do with websites. Basically, all the work I do for Hopla now is going to be part of a network that we can easily replicate with other websites on the network, where we, from one central location, we do all the maintenance, installing of plugins, building of teams, security, backups, etc. And also, I've been installing quite some things to optimize SEO and to allow us to work on content on the website with spelling check, etc., etc. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
as long as other people don't talk, I can see it. Otherwise, it moves to another screen.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I can do something about that.
So if Xenia moves a little bit to the left and or data, then all of a sudden it moves.
Let's mute ourselves and it's
Okay, now I should be locked on the screen. Okay, so the idea of WordPress, first of all, is it's a blogging network. It works very well with organizing blog posts, not so much with pages. The hierarchy is completely different. So what I've done is I've converted all the pages that we made to blog posts, and that way we can assign them a category and a tag. So here you see there's still some pages that we use, like the home page, the blog page, privacy policy, talk to us, like something where we have to embed something, or they work a little bit different. But in general, you will see that everything, all the content on the website will be categorized in posts. And I created a nice little overview. Can you guys still hear me? You're all on mute, or? So I created an overview that basically allows us to quickly see what the blogs are about. So we have the title, we have a category, then we have a focus keyword. So the focus keyword is the one keyword where the page is about, okay? And then you see the slug. The slug is the URL. So basically, here we have a blog that is about work from home in the category about. So it will be hopla.online/about/work from home. Focus keyword is work from home. Slug is work from home. Then we use tags. Tags are basically what we use for like sub keywords. So work from home companies, work from home company, like very short, like related overlapping keywords that can be used in the same blog post. Then there's automatically some scoring for the SEO, which basically counts the keywords, the number of words, checks the images, etc. Then it also checks the readability. Then we have authors. So we all have now an account. Daniela and I, we are super admins. We can access everything. Bastiaan and Xenia are editors that can basically edit all the content. And Zira is a contributor that can basically only write and edit her own content when it's not published. Okay. I do that because, and here you have the status. So you have draft, you have published, you can set pending review, etc. We have a word count. So here we see that most of these words are not enough. And the type, I will remove that. That's no longer necessary. So the main thing I want you guys to understand is if we go into editing content, oh, sorry. If we go into editing content, here we have the editor, okay? So the general design, the footer, the header images, it's all dynamic, and it's all based on what you do in this part of the website. This is the editor. So this is a new editor. It's only going to be launched in WordPress 5, but it basically allows you to put in all kinds of content, GIFs, videos, etc. So if you just have a content block, you can write something, and you can edit it the way that you would expect. And then what is the important part here is after you finish writing the content, here you can see the Google preview. So you obviously want you can edit the meta. So you can write a title and it will automatically underline it in red, in orange, and in green, whether it's good or not. So this should include your focus keyword. It should be this long, etc. The same with the description. The keywords will automatically be filled with the tags. So if you enable this, that will work. Then here you can basically set it pending for review if you're done writing it before it goes online, because obviously when you publish it, the content goes online. In the categories, you can only select one category. It's very important. So here we have jobs, which is the job profiles that Xenia does. Services are basically the front-end pages for the clients. About, everything related to outsourcing, about Hopla, why Hopla, vision and mission. Compare, we made some comparison pages. Team, which will be the category for our own profiles, which I haven't added yet. And then blog will be the regular blog post. News, I'm going to do some automation on, etc. So here you edit the text. Featured image. The featured image is important because it's basically going to be part of the header. So we want to add a nice image. It automatically optimizes the image, multiple sizes, mobile, etc. If we upload an image, I'll usually use stencil, and you would like to use the Facebook cover size 1920 by 1080. When you download it, change the name, because the name is the only thing of the image that cannot be changed once it's uploaded to your blog. So here you also want to take the focus keyword. Then you just click download, and it will download it as a focus keyword, and then you can easily upload it again as a featured image. Then your excerpt. Your excerpt is basically a quick preview of a blog. Similar as the description. Description is used for search engines. You can copy this and put it in the excerpt, because the excerpt, the functionality won't use this by default. But it can be the same content, no problem. If you fill the excerpt, it will automatically fill the description, but then you don't have the validation that this tool does. We don't do comments and pingbacks. And then the most important thing that you should understand is here you get a permalink. And you see the permalink is the category and the keyword you type in first. From the moment that you publish a page, you put the content on a URL. That means that afterwards you cannot change the URL anymore. That means you cannot change the category, because that is created automatically. You can change the title. That's no problem. You can change the focus keyword as long as you don't click the edit button here. Okay, because you make it a new URL, and that means that all the backlinks that we generated to this URL will no longer have any value. Then so here, yeah, we optimized this. I added something that we can see the stats of the post directly on the blog, so you can see if you wrote a blog, how many visitors it got during the last 30 days. Oh, this one didn't get many. And that's basically it. That's where we basically want to manage all the posts. On pages like category pages, we automatically put an overview of all the pages in that category, and you see that only when you put a featured image. So this is the page title, this is the excerpt, and this is the featured image. So that it will look nicer throughout the entire website if we use excerpts, featured images, tags, etc. And this content is managed from the category pages. So this is something we don't generally have to do. I'm actually thinking about automating it. But yeah, if Daniela, if you would be looking for it, those, we call them archive pages. We don't really put any content on there, so we don't use the editor. It's just an overview page. And similar, all the tags have their own page. And as we use more text more often, those tag pages like right now, they probably only have one PPA. Oh, so this one doesn't have any posts yet. But for example, BPO company view. So when you assign a tag to a post, it will automatically go to this overview. So this means that for all these keywords, automatically we're going to create pages with content and with links to relative content, which is great for SEO. Another thing we do with categories is that if we publish posts that have, for example, I publish a post that says BPO companies in the content, we automatically link to other content on the website with those keywords and tags in the content. So it's called relative linking. So I create a blog post and I drop the term BPO company, remote teams, and virtual assistant. That means that these terms automatically link to these pages relevant. So that's how we create like a Wikipedia style network of content, all related to outsourcing. So what we're going to do, most importantly, is we really want to start getting the content out. First of all, we have to optimize all the content that we have right now. So I put in all the tags already, the focus keyword, the slug. I'm going to disable editing this in the future. I just did this to do it faster. We have to combine a couple of pages. And then from there onwards, we basically want to stick to this structure of choosing a focus keyword, getting relative keywords, use them as tags. Basically, as you can see, the focus keyword is the most concise keyword of the group. And that's also the slug. But for example, I know, for example, that here, let me give you an example. Services. Here, services virtual assistant. Hire virtual assistant is my most important keyword because that's my conversion keyword. That's what people type when they want to hire a virtual assistant. And then we have online virtual assistant, personal assistant online with all these variations. But then obviously if we do the focus keyword is only used to check if the content is optimized. So obviously, if we have virtual assistant online, hire virtual assistant, all these terms, we have to put the shortest because then this shortest will basically give us an overall score for all the keywords. And then obviously manually, we have to make sure that all the keywords are mentioned in the comments, in the H2 titles, etc. Let me go to another page to quickly show you something more. You can still access the classic editor, by the way, but I enabled the Gutenberg editor already by default. So here, for example, this is a content block. And you see the editing is really limited to, which is good. But the page title, so what is here, this title will automatically be placed in the header image. Okay, so what you see in the header image in white letters, that will be the header title. It will also show the category, it will show the tags, it will show the excerpt, and then the content starts here. Rule of thumb is you only have one H1 title per page, so that means that all your next titles should be H2. And of course, if you have sub headings, then that will become an H3. It's really as if you are editing in Google Docs. So that's basically how we want the formatting to do. And then, as you see here, you have a content block. If you want another block, you basically, it really works similar as we used Obi. And here, for example, I want a GIF. So I look for outsourcing GIFs. And then I add a GIF to the website. It's really that easy. And you can do that with videos, with anything, like anything you can find here, you can basically use. to edit the content, and everything around the content, everything around the body. So basically, if we go to a page, so like the header is automatic, the breadcrumbs are automatic, the tags are automatic, the sidebar is automatic. All we really do in the editor is the body content. Okay, so that's important we do right, and it's important that we fill in all the metadata, which is here the smart crawl SEO. This is really where you can optimize, see how you visualize everything on all the pages. Yeah, and the rest is really mostly it's automated, and mostly it's not relevant for you guys. But yeah, the biggest change is that we're now able to. Oh, and I don't know if you already have installed Grammarly, but yeah, Grammarly, it doesn't work with Google Docs, but it does work with the Gutenberg editor. So you see when I go into the content, Grammarly here starts working, and it tells me possible mistakes. So yeah, I've been going through a lot already. And with spacings, Xenia, it's really yeah, it's really hard to do wrong right now. I can show you how it was before and why it didn't work. That was because everything was done in pages. Or not posts.
Rob, how much longer?
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Okay.
So, well, this is not really relevant. I was just showing this more to Daniela to see the difference between how we did it before and why the spacings were different. Because here you actually, how Soren built the website was that he was building every page custom. So that means that obviously there won't be any consistency throughout. Oh, here still we have.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, his tools, they injected a lot of code in the pages, and all the content blocks were separate blocks. So it was very hard to go in, back, and edit the content. And obviously, there was no consistency at all throughout the website. And right now, how we do it, we have here Elementor blocks, templates, and we basically have a template for the header, for the footer, for the menu, and for different kind of pages. So that means that as soon as we want to change the, so we have a 404 page, search page, global archive for all the tags and categories, a home page, some global widgets, a post template, legal pages, full width pages, and that's it. So with these couple of templates, we can, whether we have 100 pages on the website or 1,000, we can adjust everything from here. So that means that when anything needs to be done on the design of the website, it will be very trivial. And the content writers and editors, they only need very limited access to the website and are now able to write, put content on pending. They can even link. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure you can if you go to a post and you go into the edit mode. So you go here, you go edit. You can probably wait. Sorry. So it actually puts the post ID in the URL. So when you, as a writer or editor, and you want somebody's input on a post, you can just copy this URL, attach it to a card, and that means if you sign it to me in the status of review, you add the link, I click on the link, I review it, and as an editor, as a super admin, I can put it online, and I put it online. So I think the workflow is much better now. I think this is also better than having everything on Google Docs, because I don't know, I kind of got a little bit bored of all the copy pasting and finding content. So now it's on the website, and as soon as it's approved, then somebody that has the authority can just put it online after checking that the permalink is correct, that there's a category, that there's tags, that there's a featured image, that there's an excerpt, and that the SEO at the bottom is optimized. Okay, so that's basically it. Any questions that come up, shoot them my way, and I will add them. But this is basically becoming a system where we can now, well, if clients request us to, I heard Marco is building a team. I think it's almost faster to build a team with Elementor than it is to design one, especially because it will work directly. And if we put them on our network, it means they have all the premium plugins, the tools, the hosting, etc. So I think that could be an extra service too. And it's convenient because then basically all our writers, SEO people or whatever, they all have access to it. And if we have that all on different hostings from clients and stuff, that's a big headache. So that's about it.
It looks great, very structured now. I never was like behind the website, but now it looks very organized. Great job.
Yeah.
Questions? Can I start with questions?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so first question will be how will be our workflow right now? So who will be creating pages? How are we going to be doing that SEO optimization? Because like as you mentioned, there is 5 people right now. So let's say we need to add a new page for job part of Hopla website. So is it me who is preparing the description, and then I put this page to review for someone who will be doing SEO optimization in this case? If it's me who puts the tag word.
I think the best workflow is that like everything we put on the website from now on, I wanted to start with SEO research, because SEO optimization that sounds like doing work after it's supposed to be done. Like you don't want to write content and they'll go back in later and optimize it. You want to optimize it while you're writing it. So a good example here, for example, we had some pages. This is the old website. This is the new website. So we had a couple of pages of comparison, right? So we have like Hopla compared to virtual assistants. So I was like, okay, this content. Like there's content that we can't really like beyond outsourcing. I was like, okay, shit, that's a page that's useless, because what does it even mean, right? Or we have here Hopla VS freelancers. So what I did instead, I made that can be how the menu is called, and that can be how it's visible on the website. But eventually we want to rank that content, right? And what do we want to rank it for? We want to rank it for maybe here traditional outsourcing. We want to rank it for business process outsourcing, or freelancer platforms, or content, or virtual assistant companies. Like, because nobody's going to look on Google Hopla VA services, but they're looking for virtual assistant companies. So if we think about a topic, and that's the same for here for your jobs, e-commerce assistant. So I looked, and basically, when people look for jobs, you see I put it in the category jobs, so that means that jobs is always already in the URL. Then the focus keyword is e-commerce assistant jobs, and the URL is e-commerce assistant, because jobs is already in the URL, right? So we want to keep it as clean as possible. So now it will read Hopla Online /jobs /e-commerce assistant. The focus keyword is e-commerce assistant jobs, and these are all the related tags. And that way we separate it a little bit from the services, where we would maybe put e-commerce assistant or e-commerce manager, but we would not have the job in the title. So we try to rank this for obviously different kind of people looking for different keywords. clients versus prospective employees. So whenever you create a profile, you obviously you can come up with, hey, maybe my clients sell digital marketing, but what is the keyword that's really being searched for? Because as you write it, you want it to eventually rank for that keyword. Every piece of content, whether you write it for staff or clients, if they look for it, you want them to find it. Not only if they're on your website, they know how to find it, but we want it to be picked up by Google. So I think every page that's written should go with some research on the exact keywords and how the wording of the keywords, so we can create the appropriate focus keywords, slug, and tags. And as soon as they're set, they should be sent off to the writer. So how I'm going to do it with Zira, for example, I will create the pages that I want her to write. I'll give her a focus keyword. I will give her about 5 sub keywords, and then I will create the slug, and I can link the URL, the edit URL. I can link in a task, and she will be able to access it. Then she writes it. She makes sure that the spelling is good, everything is good, and then she puts it on pending review. That will get this icon, pending review, and then assigns the card back to me. I can click on the link, go in there, see if everything is all right, maybe change the picture or add something, and put it live. And that's another thing, by the way. If you add images, it's very important. That images, like what I told you, like when you upload them, they already should have the focus keyword in the that should be the image name. But you can also put the image alt text, image description, etc. So if you use them as featured images, it's a good practice that you fill these out as well. And that means, wait, let's go to media. This website is so slow. So yeah, basically when you upload an image or when you select it as a featured image, you can actually change. So for example here, see I uploaded it, and you see that the page name or this name is the URL. I cannot change it anymore. Okay, so but I uploaded it as Yvonne Halling, so that will be the name. But here I can change the title, the caption, the alt text, and the description. And well, okay, Grammarly is not being nice here. So the caption and the alt text can be the same, and the description you can probably make it the same as your excerpt, so that, well, Google knows what the image is about. Yeah. So maybe this way, when people look for Yvonne Halling, her picture shows up, and it actually links to our website. So that's the importance of putting all these metadata to pages, posts, and images, is because when it shows up, well, first of all, Google knows what our site's about, so we can rank. But imagine that somebody looks for Yvonne Halling, and because they look for Yvonne Halling, they come on our website, they see that Yvonne Halling is using us, and they contact us. So there's only good reasons to make sure that you are as complete as possible on the content. There you can do like Yvonne Halling uses Hopla online to blah blah blah. So you write a little content, but you focus on keywords. Yeah, and that's basically it. So right now the setup of the website is mostly done. We're gonna have to start going around the content and write, rewrite, optimize, add images, add all the meta, because none of that was done before. And then the next steps will be that we start making a content calendar. And I thought maybe there's some people in the organization that will enjoy to write like one blog a week or one blog a month about around the the outsourcing culture, or the way that how they experience Hopla, or like we can have all sorts of content. Content is king. So basically reviews, tips and tricks, and all these things. Like I think everybody works in Hopla in a different niche, and maybe everybody enjoys writing a piece of content or two every month, and push that on the website. Yeah. So maybe
Sounds good.
that's something, Senya, maybe
Yeah, we'll check
maybe
with the
something
team.
someone like Sanya maybe enjoys that, or well, you want to write something about how you as a recruiter work in the. So I think we all should put a little some content forward in the areas that we like to write about. So I would like to write about a couple pieces a month on automation, maybe Bas on the scaling and the legal, under a ghostwriter name, of course, in the meantime. Um, Xenia on the recruiting side, maybe Daniela on the development side, Marco on the design side. So we can have like everybody maybe like contribute a little bit, write a little bit about what they're passionate about and how that fits into Hopla, and etc.
Sounds
And
good.
all these people, they can just become contributors, um, and then they can access only their own content. And whenever they're done, they assign it to one of us. We check it and we put it online. So that works very nicely. So here you can
Yeah. So
see
just
Zira as a contributor, so she can only edit her own unpublished content. You two are editors, you can do anything. And Daniel and I are administrators, so we can do all the technical and configurations
so
of the website.
right. So I think this is yeah, of course, really good as well. But because it's quite new for all of us, would it be good to have, and maybe in the beginning, to get used to this, to have somebody to be the final QA on content posted, so that at least there's still I suppose a pair of eyes looking at it if everything is done well, maybe for the first month or something.
Yeah, well, so that's like what if in this case I just made you editor,
Yeah.
because only editors can view other people their content. Okay, authors can only view their own content, but they can also publish it, and then contributors can only view and edit their own unpublished content. So obviously, Zira is writing. So for Zira to be able to write a post, I must make her the author, and I must put the content on draft status. Okay, and
Right,
then
right, right.
whenever she's done, you and Xenia can both review it, and you can publish it too. But if you feel like you need a QA, you sign it back to me. You leave it on pending review. I will
Yeah.
look at it, and then I can publish it. I mean, you have
Okay.
the authority. You can do it.
Yeah.
But if you're not confident, then you just assign it back to me. It's like, Robert, looks good. Final checkup, and I will click on
Yeah.
it, check it. I won't read it anymore if you did that already. I will just check. Okay, if the meta is good, the SEO is good, everything is good, I'll put it online.
Yeah, and I think okay, that's good to know, because I think everybody will probably want to have the first, second, third time you do that. You just want to probably get that feedback. So yeah, it's good to know that we can do that and assign that perhaps only for the first few submissions, and then when we know what to do, then all good from there. In case we make errors and the manual QA through yourself or others is not done, will then the tool um, alarm anybody or us or you guys or whomever that this was a pretty crappy upload? Or
Well, because as you can see, like what I added in the overview is basically the SEO score.
Yep.
1 second.
It's available before we will publish the website, right?
Yeah. So here basically we post. Wait, where did it go? Maybe I. I think I deleted it. But yeah, so you can see the here the SEO. Okay, I don't know where that went. I'll fix that. I made some changes before, maybe they affected it. But yeah, you can see the word count, the SEO score, and the readability from the overview. So yeah, whenever that is red or orange, you know it's not good enough. In terms, if you do something wrong with the slug, I mean, it can be fixed, but it's not ideal. We can put in place a 301 redirect. I'm building something that it actually recognizes all the 404s that we received. So basically, right now, if you type in a URL that doesn't exist, you get a 404 page. And then it will actually recommend a page that has the highest score. But also, I want to record all these URLs that people arrive at, so we can automatically create redirects for them to the appropriate pages. That's also required because we are changing some URL structures from the ones that we have currently. So we will have to do that manually before we swap over the website. But in the future, if we see that a lot of people are going to wrong links for whatever reason, we want to fix that so that it's going to be built in. But yeah, the main thing is that you understand that you like all the URLs have. If you look here at the bottom left, am I sending my video? Sorry, I was talking as if my screen was shared. Okay. So here at the bottom, left bottom, you see the URL. So you should understand that how these URLs work, and that they always that they should never change. So so yeah, I hope that from now on the content is going a little smoother. I will have a call with Zira later to see if she understands everything, and I will start assigning some cards with content that needs to be optimized or combined or rewritten, and I will assign them to you, Xenia, Zira, and myself, depending on the topic or who written the content, to start doing that all together. The content, by the way, all the content right now is put in one paragraph, one content block, but you can just create more content blocks and separate them, put images in between, etc. So whenever you have some problems with the editor, let me know, but it's very, very trivial.
Good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Probably would be also helpful, since we want all the team to participate in content creation, I think would be helpful to make maybe a short video on how to do correctly the keyword research.
Well, I think in the beginning I will do that, but I can also...
so in this case, for example, team need to think about the topics they want to write about. I can put all the ideas together and then send to you. So you will do the keyword research, and then they will work based on that on the content.
Yeah, that sounds good to start. And then when I get bored of it, I will create a manual how to do it themselves.
Cool.
Okay. And about proofreading, for example, also when team will be working on the content, who will be doing the proofreading? I mean, the general look of the text, because not all of us are great writers.
Well, that's what you have. You have Grammarly for that. I found another tool. I sent it to Zira the other day. Hemingway app is one. It's free. It's online. Let's see how it works.
Yeah, but I think, guys, if we do that, we can still work in Google Doc, and then you know. and have a back and forth, and then when you're comfortable after a certain review, you can then also upload it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can still work, you can still write it in Google Docs,
Yeah.
Especially because I think the editor is quite the same, but here, so here's another tool. It's called the Hemingway app.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically tells you if it's something that's hard to read, but that is also done by our SEO tool. So yeah, just find your way in it. And I think what we should do is after we all wrote 5 pages of content and done some reviews, we should come together again, do a question round, and share best practices with everyone, so that everyone is on the same page about how to use it the most optimal.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Awesome.
that's it, guys.
Thanks.
Daniela, we can stay on the line for a little bit if you want to. I can walk you through the rest of the.
Okay. Okay.
Let's stop the recording then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is Ante here for Zira, and then you guys, whenever you have questions, you let me know.
Yep.
Okay.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
See you
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.